Ladies and gentlemen, each of us in this chamber know our days in the Illinois General Assembly are finite. The day will come when we all will no longer sit in this esteemed chamber making decisions on behalf of our constituents. From time to time, we have to say goodbye to colleagues who are moving on. For me, this one's difficult. Today, we bid farewell to one of the finest public servants I have ever known. Senator Dan McConchie is not just a colleague. He's been a mentor and is and will remain a cherished friend. He is the embodiment of what a public servant should be. We come to this General Assembly for a number of reasons. For some, it's a political goal or simply the next step up a ladder of public service. But Senator McConchie never sought elected office. He never set his eyes on the Senate. He never had dreams of political power or spotlights. He worked in the not-for-profit sector for nearly 2 decades. And it was the Senate that sought out Dan McConchie. While Dan took office in 2016, I first met him when I was appointed to the Senate in 2018. I did not take long to realize that Senator McConchie was a rare political talent, someone from whom I could learn a great deal about statesmanship, bipartisanship, and how to get things done when working from a position within a super minority. We served together as budget negotiators, and we realized we shared similar legislative interests, always looking out for taxpayers, ways to reduce government's intrusion into people's lives, and opportunities to promote job growth in our districts and across the state. When Senator McConchie was elevated to the position of Senate Republican leader, I had the honor and the privilege of serving on his leadership team. And it was during this time I really came to appreciate his collaborative leadership style and the faith he placed in his team so we could all grow personally, politically, and professionally. I also got to know what a strategic thinker he was, always looking at the big picture, always thinking 3 moves ahead. We saw new levels of creativity and vision in the Senate Republican caucus under his leadership. There was not another caucus under this dome, in my humble opinion, that does communications and community outreach better than Senate Republicans. And these enhanced processes were put in place under Senator McConchie's leadership. With regards to his legislative accomplishments, his list is comprehensive and impressive. As a freshman legislator, he was part of the K-12 Education Formula Working Group. He helped lead negotiations that resulted in hallmark bipartisan legislation that established a more equitable and fair funding formula for Illinois' public schools. He pushed successfully for the creation of the Investing Kids Tax Credit Scholarship Program, an incredibly successful program that allowed thousands of children from low-income families leave their public schools that were failing them and move to a different educational setting that better suited their needs, giving them all better educational opportunities for the future. He was instrumental in shining a light on ongoing issues regarding appointments and decisions by individuals serving on the Prisoner Review Board by people who had not been properly vetted by this body. And most recently, he addressed a few important issues that removed barriers for individuals with disabilities. EV charging stations being sized to accommodate disabled Illinoisans. Condominium associations being required to provide accessible parking for disabled drivers. He also authored the legislation that helps Illinoisans minimize their interactions with state government, 8-year driver's licenses, cutting in half the number of interactions people must have with the Secretary of State and the Department of Motor Vehicles. Senator, from the day you took your initial oath of office, you have made a difference. Your professionalism and expertise were apparent right from the start, and it didn't take long for everyone to see how much you brought to the table. I will always remember with respect your ability to make others feel valued. You didn't just focus on your own successes. You took the time to encourage those around you, members and staff. You shared your knowledge to lift others up. That sense of camaraderie and the genuine care you showed made working with you something special. Your positive attitude and your commitment to excellence made a lasting impact, and it is something that I know we will all carry forward. I have no doubt you will continue to thrive in your new role. As you turn your focus towards advocacy for expanded accessibility for disabled people across Illinois and our nation, I know it will be with the same passion, dedication, and integrity that you've shown right here in the Illinois Senate. My best wishes to you, your lovely wife, Milena, who I hope is watching this morning, and I thank you for being the truest of friends and most trusted of colleagues. Thank you, Madam President.